Hey, how's everyone doing out there? So I've got a little video for you guys here. We got the headlights done on the second gen Ram, and we got the window tinting done, and so now I'm going to go ahead and do the fog lights. So spin you around here and take a look at these things. So this is a little kit I got off of line. It seems to be a little plug and play direct setup. Little LEDs. Looks like it just goes right into the original spot here of these headlights. So you can see down there. Looks almost exactly alike. You can see how bad these things are. They're yellowed over. I can't even tell when I turn them on, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started on these and see what the process is for them. Okay, so after reading on these a little bit, they got this little adapter to make it a plug and play with the truck here, but you have a white wire because they're LEDs to activate them. So you have to run this white wire to an accessory switch on the truck somewhere, either in the fuse box or on the key, whatever's easiest. Alright, so first things first, I'm gonna pop out these old ones. It's gonna be a deep socket, 1/2 inch. And not the easiest thing to get to. Okay, so we got that out. You can see it's very similar setup, almost identical. Both have adjustments for up and down. Just this one's got the added wire, so you can tap into the accessory. So go ahead and get this one mounted on. Alright, so one little tip when taking these out, because these bolts in here are just kind of free floating. So I ended up having to push on the headlight a little bit for some reason, just to get some tension against that. I'm not sure why, because they don't turn when I grab onto them. Oh, they do turn. If you push in, they turn, so pushing some tension against that pushes the bolt tight into the slot where it needs to be, and then you're able to get the nut off. So I've got that in. Now all I gotta do is just connect the connector. Like so. And it is directional. And then I'll have to go ahead and adjust this because right now it's pointed up to the sky. So one thing to keep in mind, they are, left and right. So obviously left is going to be your driver's side. Right's going to be your passenger. I've already figured out one thing I don't like about these. You can see how they put that little screw through that hole there, the adjustment screw. When I was tightening it down, it already popped through. It didn't even get to where I needed it to be for adjustment. It's pointed to the sky. And you can see on the original how they had a much bigger, screw in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and add a washer to that, both of them, and then I'll get this one put in. So we had a couple more issues with this, for being like $60. I would think they would have got these bugs worked out. But anyways, I went ahead and added that washer to the screw, which obviously goes here. And then it goes through their spring. Well, their spring is a little narrow versus this one, which is a little wider and shorter, which does two things. One, putting that spring up causes the headlight to point up because it pushes up like this, causes a bigger gap. So now you're pointing towards the sky. And two, it being narrower, it falls into the hole here, and this is a slotted hole for adjustment. So when you're adjusting, it'll allow the screw to move a little bit. Well, with this being so small, falling in there, it binds it up and you can't get all the adjustment out of it. So I'm just going to go ahead and swap in this spring also. Okay, there it is. It's much better. Well, after a little further evaluation, I decided to go ahead and put that spring back in instead of the factory one. What I did instead was went ahead and put a washer on the bottom there so it'll slide back and forth so it doesn't bind up on the spring. Reason for that was, even though this was shorter spring, it's really stiff compared to this one, so this one's a lot easier to adjust. Well, we got these mounted in. They look really good. Not as great as quality as I would be hoping for. Like I said, the brackets are a little chintzy. The adjustment kind of sucks. All in all, they look great. I still gotta go ahead and hook up this white wire now. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on that. Okay, so we got these two white wires that came with the kit. I went ahead and turned the lights on to see if they worked, and they did, which tells me that that white wire is probably for the halos because they did not come on in any position. Why they want you to have these wired into an accessory so when the key comes on, I do not know, because I would not want those on all the time. So what I'm going to do, because they're like perfect length anyways, so I'm going to jump them onto the LEDs on the light so that way they come on keyed when that comes on. And that, for me, that would be the ideal way for that to work. Okay, so it says to do a switch on this white wire to accessories. After plugging it in, these run without this wire, so all the white wire is for the halo ring, which unfortunately means that they've got this grounded inside, if that makes sense, with the actual connector that plugs in. So it's kind of unfortunate deal. So it won't just halo on itself continuously without the fog lights. So as soon as you turn the fog lights on, the halo will come on. So I've done a little research on it, and they say you can put like a relay or something like that into it, but I'm not gonna do that. I don't want to deal with that. I mean, the other thing they said, you can take it apart and separate the ground, so you can add a separate ground. But that sounds like a nightmare, so I'm just going to live with it and have it so the halo works when the lights come on. And since that's the case, instead of running it all the way to accessory, which it doesn't even matter anyways, I'm just gonna T-tap it next to my other LED light here. That way it's not, you know, it's not connected together, and that way if I need to unplug it separately, I can. And it's just the quickest, simplest, easiest solution. Alright guys, check it out. It's all done. You can see my halos on my headlights and then the halos on those fog lights. Obviously, like I said, the fog lights are on with the halos. There's just no way around that for me at the moment. But all in all, I'm pretty happy. They seem really bright in person, and I'll let you guys know how they do. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and thanks for watching.